So, our judge just checking that all the course is still correct, and we should have Natalie Webb with Ava Drink on Me, or probably Ava Drink on Me, I imagine. So they're over the Skinner's jump, and nicely over number 3. Bit of a slip there, but the dog recovers nicely. And into the weaves. So very, very quick dog, this one. Oh, does just rattle and knock off the pole at number 10. So they're on 5 faults as they go into the tunnel. Oh, another dog that when it sees a tunnel, it wants to go for it. So it does pick up an elimination, but they'll finish the course. Well done, a cracking time, but an unfortunate elimination there. So our judge is ready, and next to go is Tracy Morrell with Duncan's Dutchlander. So they're nicely over the Skinner's jump. This dog getting quite a lot of height on each jump. So nicely through all 12 weaves as they go onto the A-frame. Lovely running contact. And yep, does get that, but another one that sees the tunnel and has to go for it. So an unlucky elimination there. We'll put them in the right end of the tunnel. Does get the correct end of the tunnel for the second tunnel, and just finishing off over the last 2. So is eliminated, but dog had a great time. So the course is rebuilt, and we have Sue Mosedale with Skinny When Wet Part 2. So we may have seen Sue before. So they're off and over the Skinner's jump nicely. Oh, just about making number 4. So they are through the twisty section of the course safely. Now they've got to do all the contacts next. So it doesn't get the contact, unfortunately. So they're on 5 faults. And another contact missed there on the seesaw. Let's see if we can get the third one. No, it's a dog that doesn't like its contacts. So we're on 15 faults as we come down through the last stretch. Well done. 15 faults, a good time in 37.960. Next to run, we have Vicki Lyons with Aerial Russian Roulette. So they are under starters orders. And a running start. Over the Skinner's jump. Round onto number 3. Oh, does just clip number 6, unfortunately. So we're on 5 faults. But if they can keep it that way, there's a good chance they're in with a shout. Does manage to get the A-frame just. And gets the seesaw, but just runs past number 12. So 10 faults now, as they go over the dog walk. Into the far end of the tunnel, and we're on to the last 3. 2 to go, and the last one. So well done, 10 faults in a time of 40.721. So, we are back, and our next handler is Andy Brown with Chucco Pero de la Casa Negra. So they're under starters orders. Oh, just caught onto the right jump over the Skinners. So it's another quick dog. Bit of a slip, but recovers, and they are through the twisty section, so into the weaves. Does get the contact on the A-frame as well. Does clip a pole on number 9, though, so they're on 5 faults. Oh, another dog that sees the tunnel and goes for it. So we are eliminated for the wrong entry into the tunnel. They must go into the far end of the tunnel each time. Last 2 to go.
Tracy.
So it is an elimination. But the dog's still wagging its tail. So all of the poles have been replaced. And next on the line is Tracy Morrell with Dutchlander Schnapps. So they're off and over the Skinner's jump. And must go right over number 4 and through the twisty part nicely. Yep, lovely running contact on the A-frame as they go onto the seesaw. Ooh, just about managing to get the bottom of the dog walk. We've got 3 obstacles to go. Last one, well done, cracking time, moving into the lead. A clear round in 36.047. So the new time to beat, 36.047. We have Jill Raddings with Minka Quinton 0. So they're off. Oh, just having a little bark. So it does pick up a refusal for not going over the Skinner's jump at the first call of asking. And into the weaves. So it does manage to get the A-frame contact as they move on to the seesaw. Oh, picks up 5 and another one. Into the wrong end of the tunnel. It's a very tricky entrance to that tunnel. The dog sees the left-hand entrance much before it sees the other one. So they are eliminated. Next to go, Michelle Curtis with Bouncy Benzie. So they're under starter's orders. Just making sure the dog gets its weight. But it really wants to go now. And they're off. Over the Skinner's jump. It's a quick dog, this one. Oh, but does touch the seesaw. It's so fast and the turns are so wide that unfortunately it's very difficult to control over the twisty section of the course, but let's see what the rest of the course has to offer. Yeah, the dog is having such a good time. It's a bit excitable. So over the seesaw. Lovely, lovely on the seesaw. It's going so fast that when it does stop, it stops just after the obstacle it's trying to stop on. So, it is an elimination, unfortunately.
Helen Brown.
So, next to run, Helen Brown with Jodenheim Gunsmoke. So they're under starter's orders. And they're off. Round and over the Skinner's jump. And nicely through the twisty part of the course as they go into the weaves. So they're going up onto the seesaw now, and gets the contact nicely. So the handler just opting for a wide turn to make sure that they go into the correct entrance to the tunnel. And a nice dog walk contact too. So we've got the last 4 to go over the Kennel Club jump. One more. Well done. That's a lovely clear round in 38.689. So next to go we have Pete Ayling with Bobby Doodle Dazzler, which is a great name. Does unfortunately clip a pole at number 6, so they're on 5 faults. Does just about manage to get the A-frame contact as they go onto the seesaw. They're in the correct end of the tunnel. And in the correct end of the second tunnel, so we're on to the last 4 obstacles. Does pick up another 5 on one of them, so they are on 10 faults in a time of 43.569. So we're just going to pick up all the poles from the course before we start our next competitor, which will be Ella Hubbard with Chadwell Eddy. And Ella is running a Kelpie. So, the course is rebuilt and they're under starters' orders. So a nice blind turn there so they can get a nice entry into the weaves. And gets the contacts nicely. So let's see if we can get the contact on the seesaw, which it does. Into the far end of the tunnel. So we're looking at the time to beat. It's 36.047 as we move into the last 4 obstacles. 1 to go. Oh, well done. Clear round in 37.132. So that will move it into 2nd place, I believe. Next on the line, Charlotte Allen with Glen Kindy Hawthorne at Jasperthorne. So they're under starters' orders, and they're off. Oh, dog rattling the pole at Skinner's, but it does stay on. So they're into the weaves. And gets through all 12 nicely. Dog gets a nice running contact on the A-frame as well as they move on to the seesaw. Bit of a jump off the seesaw though, so it does pick up 5. The dog must wait for the seesaw to fully reach the ground before it leaves. So last 2 to go. Well done. So it was 5 faults within a time of 39.655. So we're just going to check that the Skinner's jump didn't move too much when the dog rattled it, and it is fine. So, next to go, Graham Burgess with Notchlings on a Shoestring. They're under starters' orders. And they're off. Over the Skinner's jump. Lots of handlers choosing to handle this differently. It's whatever works for their dogs. Some dogs have wide strides and some dogs have very short strides. So they're safely through the twisty section. A nice blind turn onto the A-frame. So dog gets its contact on the seesaw as they go into the far end of the tunnel. Does unfortunately pick up 5 for the bottom of the dog walk. So they're on 5 faults, they come into the home stretch. Last one to go. So 5 faults in a time of 41.049. So our next competitor on the line is Gemma Swan. And Gemma's running Ollie's Little Halo Kid. And And they're off.
Yeah, it is. It's a big one.
That's the... So they're around the twisty part of the course nicely as they go into the weaves. Oh, bit of a leap off the seesaw there. Just almost an indecision on which entry of the tunnel to go into, but they do pick the right one. So they're on 5 faults as they go into the last of our 2 tunnels. Now, for home stretch. 2 to go, and the last one. Well done. So 5 faults in a time of 38.762.
Yep, Karen Young.
Our next competitor, Karen Young, with Rock Concerto. So Karen is running a working beardy, and they're under starters orders. So they're off and over the Skinner's jump. So nicely around the twisty part of the course as they go into the weaves. Yep, gets the contact very nicely. And now onto the seesaw. Another nice contact there. The far end of the tunnel. Does manage to get that. Oh, bit of a twist. Does go in the right end eventually. And they're onto the home stretch. So 1 more to go. Well done. A clear round in 37.835.